All right, welcome back to this week's Built by Trading FinX segment. This is where I go through all the popular names that were circulating around Financial X over the past week to see if it is just noise or if we can actually take advantage of anything that is actionable this upcoming week. All right, let's prep and prepare. Number one, NVIDIA. NVIDIA continues to look great. I cover this weekly in my weekly preparation video along with the FinX here. This is basically a double bottom here. You can call it a double bottom because it broke this resistance area. It is holding this gap up, which is actually very nice. It's a very strong look overall. Unable to fill there, and so it's trending up. It's above the 5. You're asking for a lot if you're buying up here. I wouldn't mind a little buy around like 220 or so. I'm going to set alert for myself here to see what it does around the 8 EMA. Otherwise, it could always come back down to this gap area, 216.64 to $213.33 here. But overall, it looks pretty good. Has a potential to make a run to these all-time highs. We do have a pivot on gap here from the all-time high day of $234.80 and $232.92. So be mindful of that. Memory, Micron chips, etc. I have been talking on these. There has been better places to be. However, that might be changing. These names are actually starting to look good. So I'll go over that in my weekly preparation. I have a few names there to look at, but again, we're sticking with what has been popular on Financial X. So FinX. Anchor VWAP from all-time highs also happens to be the earnings anchor VWAP. The average participant as of Friday is above water for the first time since the all-time highs. We are above the 8, we're above the 5, we're above the 21, we're above the 50, we are above the 200. The downtrend line has been broken. We have a higher low here, right here, relative to this 830-ish area, relative to this 730-ish area. It has gotten tight, and we've gotten a little push out. Let me show you what I'm looking at here when I say we've gotten tight, that right there. We pushed out of it. We are coming up to a potential area of supply here, so just be mindful of that. But, the next level of break is basically $1,000. And then I'd say $1,100, somewhere around there. This seems to like to move in $100 increments. So just be mindful of that. But it actually looks pretty decent, like it actually might want to turn around. NBIS, just a rip-roaring monster. Huge move on earnings. It looked like it was going to turn around on Thursday, but nope. Ripped Michael Berry. He's not actually dead, but he's got a short position on this thing. So he's getting crushed right now. We'll see, what happens at all-time highs. This looks like it wants to run to all-time highs. So if we get a run to that area, $299.86, don't be surprised we didn't even do that. Yet at the same time, you expect supply coming in there. I wouldn't be buying a breakout here. You can do what you want, but I won't be, that's for sure. Why? Because it's come a far way since earnings already. If we just drop something here, not even going from the low, okay, just from this low on Friday to this high on Friday, it moved basically 54%. Like, you don't want to, I do not want to buy a stock moving 54% into all-time highs. You have to look to where it has come from. Ideally, it comes up here, gets tight, and then breaks out, right? I'm not chasing up there, but it is in play. Tesla working on this earnings gap down. It's below the 50, it's below the 200. It's at the $300 level support. It's got work to do. As much as I like this name, it's just, it's a no-go. Better places to be. PLTR earnings has made it come alive. Downtrend line break on a nice move, earnings move. Broke this important $157-ish area. I'm looking for a pullback to that area to kind of retest it. We do have an anchor VWAP from the earnings and 8 EMA around the 167 to 165 area, so that might be of interest. I'm actually going to set an alert here, see what happens when it comes around. I have multiple alerts here set here for the breakout and the retest, see if it can set a higher low. Otherwise, we have this nice earnings gap propping us up there. So looks good, place to be. AMD also looks pretty solid. I mean, it's really sloppy and it's wide. A lot of people are pointing it out. It's had a nice 6.5% move on Friday. This prior support area, it is holding above it as of now, but it held above here and it gapped down, so it just chopped around. We do have a higher low. It's kind of ranging. It's in zone. Or in a big zone. I'm not a super fan of it overall. It's just so sloppy. It's hard to manage this, at least for me in my process. This would have been a nice day to buy, but I was at work and I missed it. So would it have been a nice day to buy? And it's about the average opening range of the day. So it's nothing spectacular, honestly. Need a tight day for a better risk reward. But like whatever, it's basing. It looks okay. SMCI, this continued, look at this and then look at that, right? This is really all it needs to tell you. It's a super choppy name. Sure, it's a good tradable name, but don't be shocked if it turns around and does this again. It's running, it's moving. It broke again this prior support level or resistance level, just like it did here, but it came right back down. So where could it go? I think this right here, this 45-ish area might be interesting. And if it breaks that 45, I guess you can look at this high here. What is it? 5140. Maybe. I don't know. I don't trade that name. Hood, HOOD, Robinhood looks interesting. Ideally, on earnings, it didn't really do anything. It gapped down and kind of chopped around. It turned around since then. It did get tight here and then it broke out. So now it's pulling back. It did close back below the 21, but it is above the 8. It closed below the 50. It's an interesting area here. Number one, I like it because it has all of these EMAs clustered here. And then number two, it has all of this prior resistance clustered here. So it broke out of it, and now we're seeing it's going to hold that area if resistance becomes support. If not, I'm looking at this $92 area. I was talking about 92, 93 a couple of weeks ago. When it was coming down here, it broke that, got all the way down to 84 or so. But it looks decent. It just needs to turn around here, set a higher low relative to this low here. SOFI. I'm in this from earnings. This is a long-term hold, really. But really, look, it's not doing anything. It's chopping in a zone. It continues to get rejected at the 200 EMA. So, it's above the 8. It's above the 5. It's above the 21. It's above the 50 EMA. So it's all good. It's above the 2 anchor VWAPs from the last earning and the prior earnings back in April. So it looks okay, but the problem is it's in a huge consolidation range. You just need to wait for it to break out. This is more of a long-term hold for me. SNDK looks pretty solid. Downtrend line got tight underneath the downtrend line, broke out. This is probably on volume. I don't use volume, so broke out. Nice move. Broke out of this $1,550 area that was support that failed. And so now it has reclaimed that. The average participant from the all-time high, let me move that. Is most likely above water. I'll just do this prior high. Yeah, is above water. So, the pressure is on the shorts that might start covering here. So memory, we'll see if they start to get another push here. This looks solid and it looks like it's going to turn around. I would like a pullback to probably 1,400 area. Ooh, let me do that. Because I'm not chasing this here. I'm not chasing this here. You missed the initial move. So this is a day 1. This is a day 2 where you could potentially add day 3s coming up on Monday, where you should not be shocked if there's profit taking. So I'm looking for profit taking for a reset here. CRWV crushed it on earnings. Huge gap up. We are seeing if it can fill. It's a gap above this prior support area that turned into resistance. It also gapped above this pivot on gap from June 30th and the pivot on gap from June 25th. So it actually has a lot of potential support below it. It is below the anchor VWAP from earnings gap. So we'll see. Ideally, it just time corrects, let these short-term EMAs catch up and then starts turning higher. But really, in the grand scheme of things, look how choppy it is. It's choppy and sloppy and hard to trade. I held it for long term, but then I sold it because it got underneath the 50 and 200, and then I never got back in. So whatever. I kind of messed that one up, honestly. CBRS, I'm seeing a lot of, look at this stage consolidation, right? It's not trending yet. It looked like it tried to want to before earnings, right? So, no, I mean, ding, 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 run up before the earnings. You have earnings and you gap down. So it's above the 21, it's below the 5, below the 8, below the 50, just in a range. It's not really a place to be. You know, there's a lot of individuals and investors that are in this name. So maybe long term, sure. It looks like it wants to shape up. Ideally, it holds this $204 area. I'd be interested if it undercut and then rallied there. So I'll set an alert there for myself. AAOI optic name looked great. Honestly, it looks really good. This area here, it has reclaimed it and it has found support here. Again, this level here, it has reclaimed it on a very large bar. Now it is coming up to this prior level of support as well. We'll see what happens here. If it breaks above that 150 $54 area, looks like it's gonna you know, continue to go level by level, which would be 190-ish next. It looks pretty solid overall. Let's go anchor VWAP from all-time highs. It's hitting it right now, so we'll see what happens. I wouldn't buy here. I'd wait for it to reclaim this $154 area, but it does look good. It looks like a place to be. ARM looking great. Honestly, it's getting tight. It's getting tight. Look at the price action. It's getting tight underneath the 50, underneath this prior support area that is resistance here on August 7th, Friday. But it's above the 5, it's above the 8. We might be getting an 8 and 21 pinch here pretty soon if you care about that stuff. It did fill this pivot on gap here, so I can delete that. It looks great. It's the average participant is still underwater from all-time highs, but we're getting like an anchor VWAP pinch here. And so what we can do is set an anchor VWAP from this low, and then you can see that it's holding it, right? That's typically a good sign that the low could potentially be in. The more that it tags it and holds it versus tagging it, holding under, and then it rolls over, right? It tagged 200 EMA, it tagged this pivot on gap from the 19th of May. So that was all support. It looks pretty solid. It might actually start turning around. BABA, I don't know why this is popular over X, but it is. Rejecting at the 200 EMA. Are you guys trying to short this stuff? Like, what are you doing? Here's a primary down trend line. Here is a secondary down trend line, which I guess it technically broke. Maybe you're looking for a downtrend line break and a retest. It is making higher highs and higher lows. Delete this. No, that was from. Oh. So I don't know. I don't like it. It's struggling under the 200 EMA. Walk away. ALAB looks great. This is super tight. This is one of my top looks for the week coming in here. It's holding this prior support area, which failed. It found support near the 200 EMA, but it's really this breakout area. It's getting tight in the same spot. I'm looking for a pop, especially if we look at the average OR. It was half of the average OR, less than half. So super tight price action. You know, low volume overall in the summer, but we shall, you know, we'll see what happens. Walmart looks pretty solid. You know, it's only 15% away from all-time highs. It's not a high flyer like an AI stock or build out, blah, 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 but it does look good. TA wise, it's above. It's getting rejected at the 200 right now, but it's pretty darn close to it. It's above the 50, above the 5, above the 8, above the 21. We've got an 8 EMA cross here. We've got a nice little base, higher highs and higher lows, or at least higher lows. It's made like an equal high here. It looks like it wants to start turning around. Where did it start turning around at? Basically right here at this breakout area. And so it looks pretty decent to continue on. I'll draw that line for you there so you can see. Always look left, right? You got to mark your levels. Mark your levels. Do your homework. That's, you know, the majority of this. Uber, what is, like, there's a lot of talk on Uber. This is sloppy. This is just so sloppy. It's not doing anything except chopping around. It can't find direction. Can't find its leggings. So, I mean, it's below the 200 EMA. I'm just going to move on. I think there's better places to be. CRDO, downtrend line breaks it. Nice little push out, sets a higher low. Now it's a higher high. I'd look for another higher low to be set. It's around the 8 EMA, which is pretty solid. It's 15% away from all-time highs. So this thing can move. Right? Yeah. And so it looks like it wants to start trending. I'll pull back to anchor VWAP from this low. I'll pull back to the 50 EMA. The anchor VWAP would put you at 228 or so. I think that would be a pretty decent entry point if we get down there. That will slowly creep up as time goes on, right? But I would just look for the 50 or the 21 if you want to risk that. Maybe, yeah, I just said the 21. Apple. It looked great, and then, now it doesn't look that great. It's holding below the 50, below the 5, below the 8, below the anchor VWAP from earnings. It just doesn't it looked great, but now it doesn't. I mean, that's kind of enough said. It looks like it's just might want to range here. We'll see what it actually wants to do. It's holding this area here. This is pretty obvious, right? This $300 level. GME, what are you guys doing? You shorting this? You probably should be. I hope you're not longing it. Let me draw your levels here real quick. Right there. Like even there, spending time underneath all of that. This looks like it's going back to like $10. It's below the 200, below the 50, below the 21, 8, and 5, getting tight below all of that. Got rejected. So I don't know what happened here. It's probably some sort of news. Down 12%, got tight, gapped up to the 8 EMA, and then sold off from there. So this looks like it might want to respect the 8 EMA to the downside. GRAB, below the 200. What more do I need to say? Below the 200, it's, chopping around at the 50. This is just a chop fest. Why? I don't understand. There must be news. There was obviously earnings. It gapped up and then sold off. This green day on Thursday took about half of the move, maybe just half, but it got rejected on Friday. This doesn't look good. I wouldn't be shocked if this heads, I got an alert right here if it breaks these lows. It's below $5, so really funds aren't really, I don't know. This is just not, I wouldn't be shocked if this goes back to 330 or even 318 here and tags these lows. It's just chopping around. I don't understand why we're wasting time on this stuff. All right. Either way, that is FinX here. Some of these names look pretty good. And some of them don't. So this is why we do this. This is why you don't go on X and say, hey, look, I found Grab. Someone posting about it. Let me go buy it. You don't do this stuff. Come watch my videos, get educated, ask questions. Let me know how I can help you guys. And I hope you enjoy. Thank you. And I will catch you next week. Go watch my preparation video. I'm also on X Spaces on Sundays preparing for the week ahead. I'll catch you guys there. Later.